Well, today I got a box of electrical stuff from my old high school. They had an electronics class, and it's no longer, so they were cleaning up the room. My friend was nice enough to get me some of the stuff that they were throwing out, so I'll take it all out and just see what all I have here. Alright, well, here it all is laid out. The majority of it is actually meters. I've got two DC milliamp meters that go up to 1 amp. So they're accurate within 0 to 1 amp. Then over here I have another milliamp ammeter. It looks like these are 20, 60 to 80 to 100 milliamps, which is even smaller than these here. That would be 800 milliamps right here. That would be 1000 milliamps, which is 1 amp. This is actually, this would be smaller, I believe, because 80 milliamps. This would be 100 milliamps, which would actually be to the one spot on here, I believe. So this is even smaller. I'm not sure what I would use these for because such low current. The only thing I can think of is if I were using like a solar panel to charge batteries. That would probably be very accurate with those small amount of current levels. But this one, I believe, is actually smaller than those. This is actually very, very small amounts of current. I'm not even sure if I'd be able to use this one at all. Now moving on to this one, it's a voltmeter, and I'm not sure why it's got more than 2 terminals, but I believe it's a some kind of multi-volt meter, because in the back it's got 4 terminals, and one says 15 and one says 150. So I think it's more like a dual range voltmeter, meaning if you use 2 of the 4 terminals, you can get 0 to 150 volts DC, and if you use the other one, you can be accurate within 0 to, it looks like 15, or 0 to 1.5 volts DC. So that's kind of neat. It looks pretty old. I could test these out one day. It looks pretty nice, actually. Never seen one like that before. It's pretty cool. Then over here, another voltmeter for DC. It goes up to 15 volts. That'd be good for a car system. That would go from 0 to 12.6 when off, and then 0 to about 15 when running. So it looks kind of like an automotive related thing. And then over here I have another DC ammeter, and this one goes in the negative range as well as the positive, it looks like. So I'm not sure where the terminals, and how would I even hook this thing up? But those are the meters that I've got, so that's kind of neat. I like this one the best. This one's kind of cool. How it can go from 0 to 150, 0 to 15, and 0 to 1.5. Over to the other stuff, I can't remember what these are, or at least I don't know what they are. They look familiar, but I just can't pinpoint what it is. I can figure that out later. And then I've got a bunch of soldering irons. Now students use these, so they're a bit abused, but they're all cheap ones, especially this one here. This is like a dollar store quality one. But these ones here are probably, I don't know, maybe in the $3 to $5 range. So, you know, I have I think about like a $15 one, which is a 25 watt. Or no, I have a 40 watt actually. And let's see, this is a 30 watt, 35, 35, 30, 30, and 30. And then what's this one? 40. Alright. So these are pretty nice. They're decent wattage. I've got a 40, so a lot of these would actually be able to match it. But they look a little beat up, so I'll probably clean them on the wire brush. Most of the kids, what they'd always do is they'd always put it on plastic and burn the plastic and stuff. So if I turn these things on, they're gonna smell. So I gotta clean them up on the wire brush and use brake cleaner or something to get all this residue off before using them. But if they work, and that's great. So cool. And I got one of these little, it's just a voltage tester. It's got a little, I think it's like a neon bulb in there or something. There's no filament in these types of bulbs, it's just there's a gas in there. I've got another one of these. Here, I've actually got one in my toolbox, it's the same thing. And then lastly, I've got this speaker, which probably goes to an electronic kit similar to this. Well, not similar to this literally, but another electronic kit. It's just a little build it yourself, which I've got another one of these, but I believe it's incomplete. The teacher that had this classroom actually gave me one of these kits, and I think it's incomplete. I don't have the greatest electronic knowledge, but I'm pretty sure it's incomplete. I'll show you that in a second. I've got this on another table so I don't mix it up with the other parts. But yeah, I started to build this one, and I don't think I have all my parts. I'll try to keep them from going all over the place. Now, here's a kit that he gave me that I was looking forward to building. Here's what it's called, a 3-channel 4-control color organ. Yeah, I was starting to build it, and I was getting to building it, and I guess you can see I already had the resistors on it. I was waiting till the end to chop the leads off. And one of the things I wanted was a couple more potentiometers. These things here. But when I haven't lost any parts or anything. But when I got to my kit, I've only got one. I don't have any more, so I'm not sure why I'm missing something, or if I'm just... I mean, the kit was stapled closed when I got it. It had this little lip on it like this, and that was stapled closed. I'm not sure if it was originally stapled closed or not, because there's 2 staple marks here and 2 there, so I don't know if it was opened once and things were taken out of it and it was restapled, or what, but I'm missing parts is all I know. So, let's see if I can find out in the directions where they want. These are R's. So, identify all these R6, R7, R8, R9, the 4 potentiometers. And yeah, I have one, so I can't build it unless I were to go out and buy some more potentiometers. Before I would do that, I would make sure that I'd look through everything and make sure that I'm not missing any more parts. But it would have been a cool thing to build. Apparently, it displays different colors with different frequency ranges. It says it flashes 3 strings of lights, each a different color, to the sound of music. Each string responds to its own frequency range. Low, one for low, which is bass, another for mid-range, and another for higher treble frequency. It says you can use any FM stereo, phonograph, so this is probably from the 70s, or tape player. It can be used as a single source. One just connects to the output, so you have to directly connect it to the output. I wonder if you could just hook up a speaker in place of that and play it in front of it. You hook it up to the organ, and it uses up to 150 watts of light per channel. I think they're talking about the watts of sound that it can output. That is over 20... Oh, wait a minute, I know... Okay, I understand. Basically, you input a sound to it, and you will have 3 AC outputs. And when you play a sound to it, it will send power to each one of these 3 different lights. So you can have 3 strings of lights, and as the different ranges of sound comes into it, it'll display, it'll give power to each 3, like 1 or maybe 2, depending on the type of frequency that it's receiving. It'll output power to those 3 plugs. So it says that you can use 150 watts of light per channel, meaning each string of light on each one of these can be 150, 150, 150 watts. And that's able to work normally. That is over 20 Christmas lights for each channel, or 60 bulbs in all. When enclosed behind a light diffusing piece of plastic, the display can be very impressive. Yeah, that would have been kind of cool to build. I guess you can buy these things, like, I think they're a little more complicated than this, but you can buy sets that light up lights to music, but of course you're going to pay a lot for it. This is just, for the fun of building it. But yeah, I can't build this one because I don't have the potentiometer, and I might one day just look up all the parts that I need and find out if I'm missing any more. And if I am, I will maybe go out and pick some up or buy some. That'd be kind of neat. I don't know if I trust this thing on mains though. There's no fuse in here. I can wire one in, put a fuse in line with the cord that they supply me. This here is the same kind of bulb that is in this. I'm not sure if that's a neon or what it is. See if I can focus on it. Yeah, there we go. It's the same kind of bulb. I've seen these before. Alright, well that's what I got. It's a nice little supply of ammeters. All the ammeters that I got are in the milliamp range, so I might not be able to use them, but I do like this voltmeter. It's kind of neat. And then I've got one of these already. Here's one I've got. It goes from 0 to 15 volts, just like that one does. Yeah, this one's for a charger, so it's got those labels on it, but it's the same thing. It goes from 0 to 15 DC volts. Well, a little miniature update on my capacitor stash. I've got a whole, I think this is a quart container full. But anyway, I've got a whole container full of capacitors now, so that's pretty impressive. I've spent a lot of time taking capacitors off circuit boards. And I'm still wondering what I'm going to do with these capacitors. On the topic of capacitors, I'm still wondering what I'm going to do with these. They're pretty large in comparison to my hand. So these came out of a TV. Only one of them has a label on it. As you can see if I do this. Yeah. 40 watts. Temperature range is 85 Celsius max. But I've got these things in a bag for a reason. They stink. I'm not sure if there's any dangerous things in these comparing to newer capacitors or not, but that's why I've got them in a bag. Well, that's about it. That's the stuff I've got from the old electronics classroom from my high school. So it's pretty neat, pretty cool stuff. I might be messing around with this one a little bit. This one's kind of cool. I might try testing out the different ranges, seeing if it works right. Alright, well that's all the stuff I got today that my friend was able to save for me before they threw it out, so that's well worth it. I wonder if these things are actually worth anything. That's it. See you in the next video.